Can you have too many tools? Of course not. Can storage be a problem in organization? Yes, it can. Problem is, where to start? Let's see what we can do. So just to give you a little idea how big a project this is that needs to be cleaned up. There's just all kinds of stuff on the floor. Extra wheels, buckets, piles of lumber, more buckets, sawhorses, tripods, miscellaneous. It wraps around here, this nice work table which doesn't get used because it's got stuff on it. And then back here we have all this storage, piles and piles of stuff. And my dog kicked over a bucket of deck stain, so I'll have to let that dry and scrape it all up too. Let's start with this heap over here. What good is a workbench if it's just overflowing and you can't get to anything? And what good is it to have 3 of the same kind of tool if you don't know where they are? Some of the shop tours I've seen on the internet are so ridiculously clean, almost like a museum. You wonder if there's anything really get done with them. But we want to make it clean enough that we'll think twice before messing it up again. Finally, there's a good look at it. With all the stuff cleaned up off the floor, you can get around better. And the bench is cleaned off. Still got more to do in the back. And to address this nook in the back part of the garage, I have a wood lathe I'd like to get to, but it has all this stuff on top of it. And remember this big paint spill? I'll show you exactly why you want to wait for that to clean before drying it up. Wait for that to dry before cleaning it up. If you were to try to clean up a half a gallon or so of spilled paint, can you imagine how many towels and rags and solvent you might use? Well, this is why you want it to be completely dry. I'll show you. Most of that cleaned right up just by peeling it off, as you saw. And the other spots that I stepped on and ground them in a little bit, I'll take a razor knife and scrape on them. So by simply peeling it up and then scraping off some of the rest with a razor blade, that gets probably 95% of it. The rest I'm going to leave it as is, because if it's stuck too hard to this coated concrete floor, it's likely to pull up the paint on the floor as well as the paint I want removed, and it'll cause more problems than it's worth. So normal wear and weather and walking on it will eventually cause this to come up by itself. And as I mentioned, there really is a 6-foot wood lathe underneath there, and I cleared it off, got rid of, vacuumed up all the dust and mouse poopies, and so next time I use the lathe, I can just shop vac it off without having to get in all these nooks and crannies and cardboard boxes and so forth. Vast improvement. The last time I did this, I had a big table saw and casters, and I put it over just outside the garage there. The lock on the caster somehow came loose, and it rolled downhill and put a big dent on that car back there. About a half hour later, I had another tool on casters. It slid back, put a big dent on the hood of that car there. So I quit for a while because I ran out of cars. So when I called this video "Clean Up Your Shop and Improve Your Life," that sounds like a real stretch, doesn't it? Well, if you think about it, every time you walk out of your garage and you say, ugh, and every time you come in the house, you go through the garage and you say, ugh, or when you're trying to work and there's a clutter or tripping hazard and you might saw something off of your body, well, that's why it's so much better. So I hope you've been motivated to clean up your shop, and best of luck to you.